For your Unit 2 exam, you're going to have question, I'm going to ask you in one way or the other to kind of give me relative sizes for the atoms of some elements. And I promise that actually things that we've already talked about in this part 6, there'll be enough for you to know, for instance, of these, what are there, 5 atoms of 5 different elements, which atom is going to be the largest, which atom is going to be the smallest, and that sort of thing. So when you're faced with that, my suggestion is to go ahead and find them on the periodic table. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to pull up a periodic table. Now remember that you will actually, how do I say this, on your unit exams when you need it, and you will need it for this one, you will be provided a periodic table. So here are those 5 elements on the periodic table. Let's see if we can kind of decipher which one's going to be the smallest and which one's going to be the largest. So now keep in mind that size gets bigger as you go down the group, and size gets bigger as you go from right back to left within the same period. All right? So does this make sense that this guy down here is the biggest? You buy that? Because he is at actually the lowest period. And so let's see, how do I want to do this? Actually, this guy, as it turns out, is the smallest. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then this guy is actually a little bit, is the second biggest. Okay, and then all we got to do is kind of focus on sulfur and phosphorus. Between those two, and I'll kind of draw your attention to this relationship, which one is bigger between sulfur and phosphorus? Phosphorus is bigger, okay, because it gets bigger in the same period. They're in what, period 3, okay? As you go from right back to left again, the atoms get bigger. So here's actually kind of talking you through kind of what we did. We're going to have fluorine's going to be the smallest in the upper right. Okay, cesium's going to be the largest in the lower left. Okay, and I see I'm going down to the period below fluorine. We're going to pick up sulfur is going to be the next smallest, and fluorine gets a little bit bigger. Calcium's a little bit bigger than that. And the biggest one is cesium. My builds are kind of catching up. Catch up, builds. Did they catch up? No, they did not. Come on. Oh, on to the next slide here even. Phew, it finally caught up. So here at the bottom, I've gone ahead and used the equality sign, the inequality sign, I guess I should say, where you have small over here. I always remember this as being less than, because it's like the alligator mouth is going to eat the larger one. Okay. So kind of written down here, again, we said fluorine was the smallest and cesium was the largest. And underneath here, now what does PM stand for with regard to the metric system and the radius of these atoms? It stands for picometers. Very good. Okay.